Welcome back. After that very lengthy conversation, seeking for hope for Lagosians when it comes to house rent, I'm sure you've taken one or two points, and let's see if we can continue to push the narrative and speak to the ears of the Lagos State government. But let's go straight to the front pages of the papers here. We do have our guest who joins us. Of course, he is a seasoned journalist, and he's here with us as usual every Friday. Welcome, Mr. Habib Aruna, for being here.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Morning, good to see you.
Let's go to our very first paper, and let's start off with, I think we should do one. Well, let's see which one we're going to put up there. Let's take the first paper, The Punch. At the top there, political showdown looms over FBI's Tribune file release. They gave a date. I think it's today or tomorrow, if I'm right. I can't remember. My memories fail me. I'll take a look at that story very quickly. Electricity subsidy spending balloons to 762 billion naira.
There's still a subsidy on electricity.
Yeah, they said they put, and then they said they were going to remove it. And I mean, anyway. Wike Fubara to begin dialogue after Oshoba's mediation. Federal government VCs under fire over 100 billion naira student loan controversy. And the big one, May Day, Labour pushes for tax cut, pension overhaul in fresh 20-point demand. I'm going to start off with that story first and let you react to it concerning Labour pushing for tax cut, pension overall in fresh 20-point demand. They made these demands yesterday during the May Day. What do you think?
First of all, I would have expected the president to be present at the rally to demonstrate his commitment to the welfare of labor. At the same time, to demonstrate leadership in the time Nigerians are facing challenges. That I'm your leader, I feel your pain. You know, his presence would have been symbolic and send a message to Nigerian workers that I'm with you. Don't worry. In this journey, though it's a bit difficult, bumpy road ahead, but we'll surely get there. He was not there. So it will be expected, however, that labor will come out with demands. Yesterday was their day. All over the world, May Day, the 1st of May, they made demands. But my worry is that the previous demands that they made have not been consummated by the government. The government agreed for 70,000 naira take-home pay for labor. It's only a few states that have been able to pay. You know, Lagos, Akwa Ibom, Oyo, and some states in the country, not all the states, are able to pay this new minimum wage. So this new demand to me is becoming too recurring and monotonous. Labor should be more circumspect, and they should not be too simplistic in their demands. Go for what no government can address, not just coming out with bogus demands that cannot be addressed, that can be consummated.
Yeah. Earlier they had asked for 1 million naira and so on for you know minimum wage,
and then came down to 750,
and then now they settled for 70,000. But let's look at the other story of the Punch as well. The front page there it talks about the FBI, the release, and how it's going to cost a lot, especially. Let's put the Punch up on the screen and see that story, especially for our viewers. The political showdown looms over FBI's Tribune file release. I mean, the SSA had come out to say there's nothing new.
You know, that was the court case. But the FBI is a major organ, major agency that addresses criminal activities in the U.S. So people are expecting that something new will come out. And to be expected, political leaders, both opposition and ruling party, they are also saying that let's wait and see what will happen. Let's wait for the bombshell. If it will affect the dynamics of the race to 2027, and that is what I think they are saying and thinking.
Yeah.
But
and it's today, by the way.
It's today.
May 2nd.
It's today.
So we wait. I guess we wait and see. Like the SA said,
yeah,
there's nothing new.
Yeah,
in regards to.
Yeah.
But this is FBI. So let's see what happens.
See something will be new in this. You know, and it's the onus is on the ruling party and the apparatchik and the opposition. Come out with your position. Is it new?
On what is revealed.
What is this? What it entails? Not just leave the thing for for the party of the government.
Okay. Can we have the Punch newspaper headline back on our screen? Yes. I saw the story that's just hidden there, but it's a very, very important story, one that is very avoidable. And if this happens in any other climes, there will be probe and an inquiry will be instituted to find out the root cause, because we can't just overlook it as normalcy. These are avoidable deaths. 73 human beings, 73 killed, 393 injured in Lagos-Ibadan expressway crashes in 3 months. What is the cause of this? This is a huge number. In just 3 months, the road has been fixed. It's pretty good. Is it a design flaw? Is it drinking and driving? Is it overspeeding? We can't say this sort of headline and just move on.
Overlook it.
People die all the time. Let's move on. Why is this happening? Why do you think this is happening, and what needs to be done?
That's a fine question. And that's the role the media should be playing, absolutely. You see, I was born and bred in Ibadan. And people like us go to Ibadan almost once in a month. If I don't go to Ibadan once in a month, then there's a problem.
You have to eat that amala.
Absolutely. Not only amala, the way of life, the environment, everything is super as compared to Lagos.
So it's almost like a break.
Yes, absolutely.
And retreat.
And when I'm retiring, when I'm 65, we're based in Ibadan. No question about that. From Edo State. But Ibadan is a place that you need to stay, to be. And that's why the place is thriving now. And luckily for them, we have a successive good governors. Successive good governors. So infrastructure, super. Social life, fantastic.
Safety too.
Safety too, yes. Safety too.
You are making me rethink. Maybe I should go and rent an accommodation in Ibadan.
It's not hard. You can find me central in Ibadan.
The road is becoming, I won't say victim, is of its own
success.
Yes, success. Before now, when they were facing the road, we have less accidents.
Yeah.
But ironically, they face the road, no matter how you drive, it's 1 hour to Ibadan. And if you are a fast driver, like people like us, 45, 50 minutes, you are in Ibadan. Fine, fantastic road, And security is good on that road because that is the major access. The business road in West Africa.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what we are saying. And we need to praise the FRSC people, officials. They're always on their beats, doing a good job. There's no way it won't happen. It's happening all over the world, my brother. So it's a fast lane. So people we drive. It's for us to show focus, as we're doing now, put more focus on it. The police and FRSC should do more in curtailing the excesses of drivers who are drunk and who drive recklessly. So I think it's okay.
Good work in marketing Ibadan. Joe is really good. After our rental conversation, is considering it. News Central Bodija correspondent Joe Hansen.
But that would be a good idea.
And
I completely
that
agree
title
with
fits it.
I completely agree with you. Ibadan is very peaceful.
And there's a train.
Yes.
I mean, you could take
Ibadan.
You could take the train to Ibadan.
I've been to Ibadan, though. I've been to Ibadan twice.
Yeah.
No, please try it.
Ibadan, nice amala, nice ambience. There's no rushing.
Absolutely no rushing.
There's a certain calmness.
We often make the
When I
mistake
went there,
that we judge Nigeria by Lagos standards.
Lagos and Abuja.
This is everything.
Yeah, I mean, people leave Lagos when they want to go and relax.
Yeah.
To go to Ibadan for a weekend.
Yes.
So we need to fix that road. Please, our safety is highly dependent on that. Still looking at the front pages of the story, I want us to still look on the Daily Independent. Tinubu says workers' dedication, resilience drives Nigerian economy, vows to create jobs, alleviate poverty, grow economic stability. Okpawolo raises Edo workers' minimum wage to 75,000. Rivers NLC Sean celebration demands Governor Fubara's reinstatement. Natasha vows not to withdraw sexual harassment suit against Akpabio. Again, Union tackles Turkish Airlines, prepares for industrial action. Only federal constitution can tackle insecurity, hardship, says the Patriots. Tambuwal Benga Daniel to chair National Confab on Constitutional Democracy. New terrorist group, Mahmouda, springing up in Middle Belt, says Labour. We'll come back to that. SEC uncovers another illegal platform, investment platform, warns Nigerians.
SEC is telling them now,
Yes.
don't say they didn't warn us.
And it's called TOFROCOM.
yeah.
Yes, TOFROCOM is what it's called. So if you hear of TOFROCOM is equivalent to CBEC. CBEC is equivalent to
It's the
MMO.
younger brother of CBEC.
You know,
What
they
kind
are
of
all
name
in the
is
same
that?
formula.
TOFROCOM? It sounds like
Even
a
the name
malaria
sounds like
drug.
fraud. Actually, it sounds like malaria medicine.
Cough medicine.
But let's talk about, I mean, maybe we can start with the illegal investment platform, why we keep falling into it, and then we can go into the new terrorist group conversation.
You see, it will always happen. That is human nature. Tell them not to go to that room, but if something is luring them, they will try and enter the room. People like me have never been cheated in my life. I've never been hoodwinked. It's not because I don't look for cheatings. And I mean it. I believe that there's no cheap way to things in life. You must go to the normal route. If you have that mindset, you can fall prey to these fraudsters. You know, I don't do betting because I know I cannot win. And I tell my children, go through the normal crucible of life. Pass through the landmines. You see, they will warn them. SEC I've been warning them now. Every I've been warning them. Don't do it. EJ. That is exactly what is
It's giving Baba trouble.
Yes, absolutely. So they will want them. When I was yesterday, I was with a friend was telling me that the younger brother had lost about 4 million. This is a poor guy that is hustling. But
I didn't work so hard.
and he's looking for
put it
go for
into-
me fund now to survive. I said, come I won't drop. No, I won't drop. So you need to find a way, but there's no way you can't stop it.
How
It's
did you
normal.
discipline? Because this investment, we've had a guest, someone that, I mean, academic, a senior academic. He was sitting on the same chair. You think somebody of that level, because you want to do investments, they show them
sometimes they
SEC
come as
certificate.
investment.
So that's the thing, yes. They came,
Yes, so
in
you
his
can't
own case,
blame
said
them.
he had done the due diligence, it was a registered company.
Everything.
They were not promising anything exorbitant. It was reasonable interest
fell
rates,
prey
but he
for
fell
it.
prey to. And he and his wife lost their lives.
No, that's what I'm saying. You need to make sure, for example, now,
Sir, maybe you are just lucky.
I'm not
don't
the
make sweet
marketing.
talkers.
I'm not the marketing anybody. But there's some things I cannot do. Conventional banks, yes. Money Point.
Their own profits.
Money Point,
it take
Nigerian
time.
brand, intelligent guy, the guy that the brain behind Money Point. But I don't do all those things. The other ones, I don't do it. I'm not sure. See,
Sir, the traditional bank.
traditional banks, I won't have my money.
The
I'm not-
return on
I can't be
investment
duped. Can't dupe me.
is
And I hope you are
minuscule.
never
But
duped.
CBEC was
I want
offering.
to let they have now. No, I can't give it to you because I need to be sure. No, that I'm not sure. I went to court. And I won. No, we need to be very careful. But as I said, that is part of human nature. That is the contest. We are not, they will do it because they want cheap money.
Yeah.
There's not cheap money anywhere, my sister. There's not
That's
cheap money
what,
anywhere. Yeah, they will pay something for it. Just by going through Babalawo, all those herbalists. It's darkness. If you go to darkness, you cannot see light. You are in their domain, and they negotiate. So when you go to the light will take over darkness. And that's how life, that's how life is. So I would suggest that there should be more moral suasion. There should be campaign of telling people that, come, don't do these things.
Don't be desperate.
Don't be desperate.
And that's what Charlie
Yes.
Poppy said when he
Yes.
said desperado.
You know, it cannot,
Many.
It cannot work. It cannot work.
This Friday edition, please enjoy this.
Oh, my
Absolutely.
goodness.
They are
So
super
the
excited.
other issue.
Yes.
This new Mahmuda, what do you call them?
Yes, Mahmouda.
We have
terrorist
many
group.
Yeah,
terrorist
from
groups
last
spending up
week,
in the
there was
north.
a spotlight on them.
Many of them spending up. Boko Haram, many of them. I think the federal government, who has the responsibility of protecting Nigerians, should do his work, do his job. They have a duty to secure this country. You know, since we have the media is bringing this issue out to the public domain, right? So I expect the agency involved, responsible for protecting this country, the intelligence agency, the military, the police, come and tell Nigerians what we are doing. Because we've been seeing killings in the middle belt, in Plateau, some part of Kogi, many parts in Niger,
Niger as well.
many parts in Plateau, In Benue. Thank you. So what are the government doing about it? If the other one is springing off, where are they coming from? What are they doing to make sure that they are decimated? You know, that is what we should be asking the government. And thank you for bringing that issue up.
Still looking at the, I believe it's the Tribune newspaper, or this story overlaps.
Yeah, Tribune.
Yes, Tribune. The headline, FG summons VCs versus ICPC probes student loan disbursement. So the figures that are being bandied around here is no small figure. They are talking about 40, ICPC says no fund disbursed only 44.2 billion out of 203.8 billion received to 293,178 students in 299 institutions, and now fund reacts. Joe, I believe the latest is that
there's an
ICPC
update
is saying...
they said the ICPC has retracted from the statement. That's the breaking news we got this morning.
So there's no issue.
Still need to confirm. And a lot of persons are saying...
Nigeria should not take that for an answer.
So, yeah.
We should not take that to...
Because they were the ones that came out in the first place.
We should not take that to think that there's nothing fishy. You see, on a TV program, about 3-4 months ago, I read this issue. You see, when money is changing hands without transparency, without accountability, many things can go wrong. I was raising an alarm, and I said, these student loans, the federal government is disbursing. Through who and who? Who are the beneficiaries? And I asked the question. Let them come out and tell us many people that have benefited. This is a living program. Let them call in. Because I knew that this thing will happen. As we saw in Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, when money will suddenly change hands, that accountability. So what the ICBC said, and that they are retracting now, to me does not hold water. Nigeria should demand and ask questions. How much has been disbursed so far for this enterprise? And who are the beneficiaries of this loan? Because I think the objective of this thing was for people who cannot afford it, for people who cannot afford to pay their school fees, due to the economic challenges the country is facing. This is what the government is doing to help them ameliorate the situation. But you cannot pay, but you can pay later. That is what happened overseas. You know, then billions of naira was not disbursed. Now we need to ask how much has been disbursed so far? How many universities benefited? Who are the beneficiaries among the students? We need to ask these questions.
Yeah, but the ICPC that raised the alarm in the first place is saying, don't worry, there's no problem. You can go back.
No. We are seeing party. What fella used to say party government. Now we day. You know, and the alarm they raised, we are not saying that everybody is corrupt. It's an allegation. But who are the just responsible? EFCC and ICPC should investigate. And I said Nigeria should demand to know.
They must not be investigated before coming out to say.
Yeah, so the ICPC said they carried out their investigation. I mean, according to the story, they carried out their investigation, and in the course of the investigation, they found that XYZ amount were disbursed, the other ones were not, and that brought about a lot of, thoughts in the air, especially from the people who are interested, the students, stakeholders. Okay, so what's really going on? And then this morning again, I mean, although we can categorically state that this story, we're waiting for them to confirm it officially, they come out to say, oh no, we retract that statement.
We don't run things like that.
There's nothing to see here.
No, we don't run things like that. And that is not tidy. You know, we cannot go to sleep with the latest statement by ICPC or
ICPC.
No, don't go that way. Well, I want to say that the allegation, the dust raised by the allegation, were not settled until we know the truth. And the truth can only be known when Nigerians are informed of how much government has spent, how much has been disbursed so far, on the student loans.
If
Who are the beneficiaries? How many universities benefit from it? That is what we want to know.
If you permit me, let me read.
I think something is wrong somewhere.
Yes, let's look at this categorically. Let me bring the story to the fore. So 3 minutes ago, Premium Times has taken that story. 3 minutes ago on Premium Times, student loan ICPC walks back disbursement discrepancies claim. They say ICPC earlier said the federal government released 100 billion naira. Only 28.8 billion naira was disbursed to students, leaving 71.2 billion naira unaccounted for. As we speak this morning, the Director of Public Enlightenment and Education, Demola Bakares, issued the retraction. He issued a retraction statement. Permit me to read that. In a revised statement on Thursday, just hours after the Commission's earlier update suggested that discrepancies were already established in the student loan disbursement. That's what they said. They said there were some discrepancies. But now he's saying that the Commission earlier said preliminary findings revealed major gaps in the financial records of the student loan scheme, which is also what you've asked for. How do they do it? Who takes it? What are they? It added that while the federal government reportedly released 100 billion naira, only 28.8 billion was disbursed to students, leaving 71.2 billion unaccounted for. But walking back the claim, the Commission said in its reverse, they have a revised statement that's out. And the revised statement says, unintentionally, the word not was missing in the second to the last paragraph of our earlier press release in respect of our ongoing investigation regarding the student loan scheme. It added, the missing word created an erroneous impression that the alleged discrepancies or diversion has been established. We admit that this is not the case. Indeed, we accept that the same part of the sentence also contradicts the whole paragraph. Mr. Barakare explained that what has been verified so far is the total amount received and disbursed by Nelfund. Total amount received and disbursed.
So it was a case of grammatical error.
No, that is not convincing in my view. It's not convincing enough. Something is
Not was missing.
something
Not
is-
tiger
something
not,
is- something is not.
Just not.
Something is fishing somewhere.
Something is wrong.
Phone calls have been made, and they are not changing their tone. Nigerians are not convinced, and this thing should not.
And we're not born
this thing should not
yesterday.
leave the front burner. You know, I said that I've said it, and I insist again this morning that the way and manner these student loan things, the way they are operating it, leave more to be desired. There's no responsibility. There's no accountability. There is no transparency. You know, so I'm Nigerians are demanding that how much, as I said, have been disbursed to this agency.
Sure.
How much are they giving to various universities? How many students have benefited from this loan?
I want us to do
They need to be investigated.
sorry to interrupt.
Something is fishing somewhere.
I want us to do something now. I mean, you've edited scripts all through
Absolutely.
the years. With your pen and your paper.
Yeah.
I wish I had time so we could shoot this on the screen, but it's fine. Let me read it. And then I'm going to add the not there. Let's see if it makes sense. This is a statement, guys. I read.
Forensic
Yes, let's do
analysis.
it forensic. This is a statement I read. The ICPC confirmed that a clear case of discrepancies has not been established in the administration of the student loan scheme and announced that its investigation will now extend to beneficiary institutions and individual student recipients.
Okay.
So I've added the not. But if you add the not, there's a other line there that says they will now extend
Correct.
the investigation.
Correct.
So if I take the not out, the
Why are they
ICPC
doing-
confirmed that
yeah.
a clear case of discrepancies has been established without the not.
So you're very right. But that is what this copy party for you.
Yeah.
You know, and that is what the media should be doing, and what you guys are doing here. And I hope those in authority are watching this program to know that something is missing. An agency of government is not being transparent. An agency of government is not being accountable. And the Nigerians are saying that they want to know what is going on. There should not be compatibility between the ICPC and this agency. They're supposed to be responsible for people to
They
student
can't
loans.
sweep this under the carpet.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, they should not. And I'm thinking that our lawmakers too are watching, both House of Reps and the Senate. There are committees responsible, study committees responsible for this kind of thing. They should come to and investigate. Because these things is an easy way of giving people's money.
All right. I mean, we had Nelfund on the show
Easy way of
when all
stealing
of this
money.
began. So this is also our way to indicate that we'd love to have them back on the show because this is a conversation that certainly needs to be
Absolutely.
had. Thank you so much for joining us this morning
Thank
on
you very
Breakfast
much.
Central.
My pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
And you too.